Welcome to the CBS Eye on Money show. It is Tuesday, March 1st, and we are starting a brand new month, Mark. It's just time marching on. And I don't know. I hate March. What do you think about March?
This is a big month. You know why?
Why is this a big month, Mark?
Interest rates are going up.
Mark, this is I thought you were going to tell me, like, don't you remember it's so-and-so's birthday? And I'm like, no. Okay. So you're really excited because in 2 weeks we have a Fed meeting and interest rates are going to rise. That's it.
Yeah, the first of many, right?
It's March Madness also. What else do we have? What else is March famous for except for not one day off because there are no stock market holidays? But I'll take it off anyway. I'm going to take a few days off. But what else do I need to know about March?
Oh, you're going to be getting on an airplane?
Oh, yeah. I'm getting on an airplane. Big time. It's very exciting. Remember the last time I was on an airplane? That went very well. Not.
It sounds like a busy month based on what we just recapped.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is going to be a busy month. And maybe it's a busy month for you guys. Maybe you're making big plans with all of those savings that you're going to get from your tax refund. Mark, do you know that last year that 130 million taxpayers got a refund? That's insanity. That is some bad tax planning. I mean, I know a lot of people, you love getting your tax refunds, but it's like over $2,800 on average. I guess it's okay if you're going to blow it. You know, if you're the type of person who would blow it and it is forced savings, fine. That's okay. But anyway, if you've got a financial question, we'd love for you to join us. Just go to jillonmoney.com, click the contact us button. We'll get your note. That is what Alfredo did. He is on the line from Washington, D.C. Do you mind if we just call you Fredo? Because we're like Godfather aficionados.
Oh, yeah. Please do.
All right. Alfredo. Alfredo. What's on your mind? How can we help you out today?
Well, I'm calling specifically about changing jobs. So I've been really, really happy with the company I've been working for. It's a tech company, fairly large, for the last almost 5 years. But I feel like my expenses are kind of outpacing my income. And at this point, I feel like we've done most of what we can do to try to trim down expenses, but I think I just need to earn more money. And the employment market right now is so hot that I think it makes sense to maybe look at moving to another company. But I wanted to kind of, one, I guess, check to see if I have done enough in terms of like how I'm allocating savings and things like that. If maybe I'm like over saving, which I can't imagine is a thing.
It is a thing if it's only a thing if you don't have fun. So, if you have fun, then you're probably not oversaving. But if you feel like you're like living very tight for no particular reason, that's not fun to me. I like to have a little bit of fun too. Who's the we?
We is my wife and I, and we have 2 young kids. We have a 5 and a 3-year-old.
Are you both working?
Yes.
Okay. How much do you make, Alfredo?
120.
And how much does your wife make?
About 100.
And are the kids in public or private schools?
They are in a private daycare right now, which is the kind of the only option.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about the finances, what you're spending money on, and what's costing so much more that's causing you to, because I hate to change a job if you're really happy, but tell me more about what's going on.
One of the big things is the daycare expense, right? Like our mortgage, it's about a third more than our mortgage, which is and not like a crazy expensive place either. But that's where a lot of our money is going. And then otherwise, just into savings and things like that, like just house stuff, because that's another fun thing where you learn that houses are way more expensive than you ever anticipated.
Exactly. How much is your house worth?
Zillow says like $850.
Okay, let's say $850. And what's the outstanding mortgage amount?
About $580.
What's the interest rate on the mortgage? Do you know offhand?
Yeah, it's about 2.65%.
Wow. 30-year or 15 or 20? What do we got?
30-year.
Great. So you're not making any extra payments on that, right?
No.
Okay, great. So that's fantastic. How much are you guys putting into retirement savings? What's your contribution levels?
So we both do up to our match. And I'm doing about 10% now, which is beyond my match by 4%. And then my wife is just doing the match at 6%.
How much money is in those accounts right now?
She's got probably about $50K, and I've got probably $150.
How old are you guys?
35 and 39.
Beyond those retirement accounts, do you have some money in savings?
We do. We've got some weird for lack of a better term, savings is kind of set up that's accessory savings. So we've got like only about 10K in a brokerage, like just a lot of assortments of like PIMCO funds and savings that my wife has. It's probably about 40K total. That's probably all of the savings, to be perfectly honest.
So you got like 50 grand, you're saying you have 10K in brokerage and then 40 grand in like some other brokerage account, or is that 40 total? What's my total that's in non-retirement assets?
Total in non-retirement is probably about 50.
Okay, got it. But some of it is invested. It's not like this is your emergency reserve because you just mentioned PIMCO funds.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is that?
Because we don't really have an emergency reserve, to be perfectly honest.
Okay, I gotcha. So right now, beyond the money that you're saving in retirement, are you actively putting any money into these other non-retirement savings, or is this just like old stuff that's floating around?
Yeah, at this point, due to cash flow, we are not really actively putting in any other money other than a 529. So we're just doing.
Tell me about what you got.
So for each kid, we're putting in 100 a month. Maryland has the tax deduction, I think, up to like 2.5K per person.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not there yet, but we're just trying to take advantage of as much as we can. And in each kid's account, I think our older son has about 9 or 10K total, and the younger one has about 6 or so.
That's great. That's fine. Life insurance for these little kiddies, God forbid something bad happens?
Yeah, through our employers, but nothing outside of that.
You need life insurance. So you notice how I start with death. Let me just start with your death first before we get to your life. Yeah. You probably have like 1 time your salary or 2 times your salary. Like, what do you have in the insurance department?
Yeah, for my wife, that's what it is.
Yep.
But for me, it's actually about almost 750K worth of coverage through our employer.
Okay.
So they
That's
do,
great.
Yeah, they do about like 3 times our salary. And then for like an additional, I think it was like $8 a month, I could get it up to about the 750.
You'll need more than that for her, and you probably need more for you. You probably both need $1 million of coverage at least.
Okay.
And that's just because if something bad happened to both of you at the same time, that's really the biggest risk. So when you look at your job making 120 plus, I guess, some bonus perhaps, what do you think is out there that would pay you more? Like, what have you really looked around, and what do you think is your upside by leaving?
It's a great question. I've been starting to poke around, and one of the things that's so different now is having these conversations with recruiters for these different companies is they're very upfront about compensation very early on. Mm-hmm. And so what I found is that initially in these conversations, I'd kind of like put out an outrageous to me salary, and with each recruiting conversation, just keep on increasing it. And I've kind of landed with most of these companies about 50% more than I'm currently making.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. And I will say, like some of them, of course, might be like smaller startups and that kind of stuff where it's, maybe not as secure, and that's why there's a little bit more money. But honestly, one where I'm actually doing some interviews for later this week, it's an established tech company that's been around longer than the one I've been at. And it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere anytime soon.
Wow. Mark, how would you like to advise going forward for Alfredo? I've been hogging the conversation without involving you. So what do you say, Mark?
50% pay increase is hard to turn away from. Is there any negotiation room where you're currently at?
So that's a great question. I'm actually talking to somebody internally at my company, but I think they're kind of hamstrung by what they can do. And I don't think I could see any more than like a 10% increase.
Ooh, that's rough.
How much are you guys paying each month for daycare?
So it's a little over 4K.
And when does that start to come off the books?
So this September, at least one of the payments will come off. So that will kind of bring us down to about 2K.
Well, that helps.
Yeah, that will help a lot.
I mean, 50% pay. Those are conversations that have to be had.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got to start the process. You have to interview. You have to get a offer in hand. I mean, listen, if you can make $180,000, $200,000 a year, that's massive. I don't care how much you like where you are. And you could be at the greatest company in the world with all sorts of like security, but that is just impossible to turn away from. And I think it's worth really focusing on that. I think that, as Mark said, look, your cash flow is going to improve dramatically in September. When that let's just pretend you don't get a new job. You're really limping along until September. And then in September, when you have that extra $2,000 a month, I think what you're going to need to do is make sure that you have some more money in savings, right? And real savings, not just, and maybe it's actually even time to get rid of some of these PIMCO funds while your capital gains rate is still within 15% without that 3.8% Medicare surcharge on top, so maybe we should just get rid of those and liquidate and pay the tax that's due and have a real secure emergency reserve fund. I think that's number one. Number two, you need to get more life insurance. Go like to Policy Genius, which is sponsor of the show on and off. Get $1 million of term coverage for each of you. Just like, let's not screw around with this. Okay. And that's like independent of whatever coverage you'd get at your next job. And then if you then get this big bump in income, you can both start to increase your retirement savings. First of all, you'll have a much more comfortable lifestyle, obviously. You'll just have a little freedom to say, okay, we don't have to sweat every month. You will then be able to increase your retirement contributions. Mark, where do you think their retirement contribution should be, given that he's almost 36, she's 39? Do you think we should be maxing it right now, or do you want to make sure that we want to put as much as you can plus do 529? What do you think, Mark?
No, at this point, assuming he gets a new job, which I'm hoping he does, and the daycare comes off the books, one of them comes off the books in September, I think the focus really should be both of them maxing out their retirement.
Yeah. So, maxing your retirement means $20,500. I would almost do it right at, like, let's just say you get this job, you're making $180,000 or $200,000. I would start by saying, withdraw the max and start there so that you don't get used to all that extra cash flow coming in so quickly. And your wife can do the same. Like you'll be able to do that. And I think you'll be able to both max it out and put money into the 529 plan. I really do. It's not to say that like, oh my God, you're in terrible, you're not in bad shape. It's just that the cost of this care for your kids, which should start to kind of peel off and be better, it's just like compounding the problem that you're getting underpaid, that you are underpaid right now. So I think that like this is a big year for you guys. Things will change. If you don't get a job immediately, at least you have the knowledge that in September things will ease up, right? Now, let's say there's no job offer that comes in before September. With that $2,000 a month, once you build up your emergency reserve and you have your savings built up, then I might just like tick up your contributions, each of you, a little bit. Maybe you go to 12 and she goes to 8, and see how that feels. I would rather you put more money into retirement in the near term than in the 529 plans. You do have time for the 529 plans. Last question for you, unless Ben, you can ask us any other questions. Do you have wills and powers of attorney and healthcare proxies? Is that estate planning stuff done for you?
Oh, of course not.
Mark, where is the sounder? Wah, wah. So you have to actually have money saved for that. Do you have some friends do you have an attorney, like a friend who's a lawyer who can give you a little, or just go and do it online? I don't even care, but you have kids. Come on. This is nutty. Mm-hmm. You have to do this. So estate planning and life insurance are really priorities for you guys. In order, you ready for your triage? Mark, you can see if you agree. I say estate plan is number 1. Life insurance is number 2. Savings is number 3. Those are your top 3 things that must get done, whether or not you get the job. And then you can go get a new job and you'll improve everything. Is there anything else that I have forgotten, Mark?
No, I agree with the order. I would just say in terms of savings, retirement first and then college.
All right. Retirement and then college makes sense to me. And what about you, Alfredo? How's this all sitting with you? It's a lot. I know we've just thrown a lot at you.
Yeah, no, I think it makes sense. I think it's, it's always tough to leave a place that you're familiar with, but the money is super compelling, right? And especially if it's basically the same job, just with different branding.
Yeah. And you know what else is to think about? Let's say that you get a job offer in hand. You can go to your boss and say, I love this place. I would love to stay. Is there anything you can do? Maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised. Maybe it wouldn't be. Okay, maybe let's say you have a job offer at 200. If they said, you know what, we can't do that, but we can give you a $50,000 increase, that would be awesome. You're not even in the arena right now if you're talking about the difference between like 120 and 180. That's just a huge difference for you guys. And you owe it to yourself and you owe it to your family. And I know that it's tough to leave, and we are all get into our comfort zones. And maybe listen, if you had a spouse where she was making $200,000 a year, you might have the luxury of staying at a job where you are underpaid relative to the marketplace. But I don't think that's where you guys are right now. All right.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
All right. If you are like Alfredo and you would need some financial advice, we would love to hear from you. All you need to do is go to jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and Mark will do the rest. It's very easy. And while you're there, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. We drop our episodes here every Tuesday and Thursday. Mark is the co-host and executive producer. We are distributed by Viacom CBS. Oh, and now I have to call it Paramount. Reminder, lift someone up today. It really will make that person feel better, and it will make you feel better. Just remember, we've got a little mantra here: curiosity, compassion, community. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.